NASCAR Winston Cup Racing on FX is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck. UPS delivers a chance to win 4 tickets to the Daytona 500. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword UPS Racing. And you see the slow speed from Dale Jarrett's view out the windshield, and you see those drops of rain. Jimmy Howell has his rain gear on and the caution flag in hand at lap 210. We are halted for rain once again.
And I'm going to assume that all the teams running at the front are looking at the same radar that I'm looking at, because pit road is open and only the cars at the rear of the field on the lead lap have come to pit road. They know this race could be in trouble.
I ain't coming to pit road till I run out of gas right now.
Mark Martin's in, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott.
These guys have to come to pit road because they were about to get lapped.
Johnny Benson, Jamie McMurray, Todd Bodine, and Dale Jarrett are on pit road. Andrea likes the rain. Her husband's out front.
Let it rain, let it rain.
Now the question is, who will stop the rain? Matt.
Steve Letarte, the car chief, already made a track bar adjustment on Jeff Gordon Chevrolet, so the car was getting a little bit better. They made that track bar adjustment to help him out.
Like I say, these cars were way at the back of the lead lap cars. Nothing to lose. Go ahead and make your adjustments, and unlike Andrea Nemechek, hope the rain stops.
Terry Labonte in, Jeremy Mayfield among the lapped cars now. Robbie Gordon, Ryan Newman, Mike Skinner, Michael Waltrip, Jack Sprague. Jeff Green comes in. He's a lead lap car. Dave Blaney and the 0-1 for Jason Keller. Let's go down to the Hollywood Hotel where the wipers are on full.
All right, from the Hollywood Hotel, a few raindrops following behind us. Front row Joe Nemechek leading. Bobby Labonte, by the way, celebrates his 38th birthday this Thursday, hoping for another short track win. The only short track win in his career came at Martinsville last year. How do you assess, given the way the leaderboard looks here at the moment, Jeff, as we look at Bobby Labonte and the rain?
Well, a couple things right now starting to kind of come out is that if it doesn't, as far as the rain comes, if it doesn't affect this race right now, the guys that just recently have come in, they're going to have an advantage over these guys, and it could play out as the race progresses. Because again, you get it down and start running this race backwards, and Larry Mack, you know that the guys that just pitted right now will have to come in, and you see a lot of cars right now starting to come in, realizing they need to get these tires. Like, well, we're going to go back green, and you've got to figure that this race is going to go the distance no matter what you do.
And the Hendrick drivers dominated the first 120 laps, leading 96 of those, and of course with Nemechek, part of the Hendrick Motorsports. And certainly you talked about the success of Chevys, at least in getting ready for this race.
Yeah, right now looking inside the car of Kevin Harvick right there, you see the driver right there working, coming up through the gears, looking up, checking the rearview mirror as he goes off pit road. And that's a pretty cool little camera angle we've been looking at all night long, because it gives you an opportunity to see how much work that driver is actually doing inside the car.
And there's obviously not a lot of room for these guys.
No, it really isn't. And we've only got one lap to go, getting ready to go back green. So, as we said earlier, these guys not pitting could come into play, and it could be real interesting as we go on.
All right, let's go back upstairs. Mike, Larry, and Darrell.
We see something interesting here for the second time tonight, giving the field the 1-to-go sign to double up the cars to help keep that track as dry and as much heat in it as possible, then waving it off and getting the cars relined up again, which is what they've done. They want everybody out there weaving back and forth to keep as much heat in the track as possible.
Yeah, and the guys up in the front of the field, they're in a dilemma. They'd like to come to pit road, get fuel and tires. But what if it starts raining again here after 10 or 15 laps?
Look how quickly the track has gone from orangish to green, and then of course the coldest temperature picked up by that Raytheon camera, blue.
There you see the track temperature right there. Remember when it started, it was 74 degrees. Now it's 67 degrees. Darrell, we talked about this earlier. Look what it was when these guys were on the track last for race practice, 94 degrees.
Our FX thermal cam, developed by Raytheon, doesn't take pictures. It shows temperatures, the relative temperatures of the unused asphalt. Is the coolest color blue, as is the surrounding scenery. And it goes from blue to green to orange to red. The hottest color, as you see the lights over here, is white, is shown represented in white.
pretty cool. I think that the biggest thing it's shown us certainly is the heat in the track, but how that heat is expanded as the evening has gone on.
And you know, Darrell, I know you talk about our leaders being in a dilemma. It's not the end of the world here. We saw last night in the Busch race, this is a pretty good tire package for here. And they've got 54 laps on their tires. That's a lot of laps, but that's only half of a stop. And the thing about it, our top 16 cars, all the way from Joe Nemechek leading the race back to Elliott Sadler in the 38 car at 16, all of them have stayed out on this caution.
Joe Nemechek has 2 career wins. He's our leader, and Steve's with his crew chief.
Yeah, Mike, I heard Peter Suspenzo saying something about a rain dance.
Yeah, we'd like to see it pour right now. It'd be real good for us.
But I also heard you tell Joe that before the caution came out for rain, Peter, he was pulling away.
Yeah, he was starting to pull away a little bit from Bobby there, so hopefully it'll start pouring right here in about a minute.
If you get the one to go, will you come to pit road or will you stay out, Peter?
If what?
If you get the one to go, will you stay out or will you come to pit road?
No, we'll stay out.
And like I say, I don't think that is a bad move, especially if all your buddies behind you stay out with you. That's the main thing.
No, it's the only move right now. But if this race will kind of traditionally go green for a long period of time through the center of the middle of the race, that's what I'd be worried about. If you got to make a green flag pit stop, you're in big trouble.
Well, we saw Robbie Gordon lost 3 laps while earlier in the race making a green flag pit stop.
1 on the track and 2 laps pitting. NASCAR continues to hold the yellow flag in the air. That means we are not going green this time. Now Jimmy Howell furls up that flag and gives the 1 to go sign.
It really I never saw it rain, hardly just a little wee bit maybe.
Three Chevys at the front of the field. Now that pretty much mirrors qualifying. Happy hour, final practice was won by the Fords. Who wins the race?
I think who has the strongest race car is Kurt Busch. They have to straighten out their problems on pit road, though. They cannot have any more mistakes on pit road during pit stops.
Those Roush cars win. That's what the 99's up there. He's 5th. Busch is 7th. Kenseth is 8th. Biffle. Here's Biffle up there in 9th spot. So the Fords are up there. They're just not out of sequence right now, maybe.
Pace car looking to dive onto pit road. We're going back racing. 217 laps complete.
I hate restarts here, especially when you've been out on the same tires.
Let's crank it up for you, folks.
Sounds like a good plan to me. The rain is gone. We're going to go racing. Crank it up. Riding with Rusty Wallace here. The 2 car is in 4th position, but the big problem, he's back there with a lot of lap cars. Look at all these shots. I mean, this just shows you, especially how close racing is after a restart.
And there's a lot of hoping they're good now cars in the back trying to bust their way to the front.
Well, I feel pretty good if I'd been to pit road and get through this melee here of restarts and I had 4 fresh tires. I'd be feeling pretty good about that, like a Jeff Gordon or somebody.
Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, Terry Labonte, who pitted 4 times under that caution, are all in that situation.
But Darrell, Jeff Gordon, those fresh tires, 50-something laps fresher tires, it's so hard to pass. He's only made 1 position up so far. He's going to have to get this thing strung out a little bit to be able to pass cars.
Yeah, well, he's, you know, they're 2 wide, 3 wide, all over the place in front of him. He's got to work his way through here.
Looking at Jason Keller from that left side window cam.
This is when you hope that guy underneath of you right there stays there. Please don't, I mean, get close, but please don't hit me.
Trouble, turn 1. Backing into the wall. I think that's Sadler. And Tony Stewart is hard in the wall in turn 2.
Yeah, he's riding all the way up to he's in the wall over there.
Caution is out. Robbie Gordon still trying to make another lap up. He will not make it up. Elliott Sadler, the 38 car, a lot of damage to that car.
Like I was saying there on that restart, when you've been out there on the same tires, you pick up a lot of debris. The tires cool off. They're not as good after they've been cycled like that.
And Elliott Sadler was one of the cars that did not pit, but Tony Stewart in the 20 car, he did have fresh tires.
Now, Sadler's got another problem. You cannot return to the track without a rear spoiler, and his is dangling by one bolt and one nut. Stewart's okay, getting ready to climb out. Look at him at the top of the screen. As Sadler is the 4th car in line here, and he gets tipped by John Andretti.
Yep, that's what happened. And here comes Tony. Now watch, he's trying to squeeze by, and he gets up in the debris, picks up all that rubber and debris on his tires, and he can't keep him hitting the wall.
Now, Darrell, here's all of our leaders on pit road except for Joe Nemechek. He stayed out again. Everybody else, Bobby Labonte back. They're on pit road. Dick Berggren.
Rusty Wallace is one of those leaders who is in on this round of pit stops. Not much debate. They decided almost immediately that they would pit now. Matty.
A little damp down here on pit road. Mark Armstrong slipped a little bit as he came around the left front of the car. Labonte down and away. He is going to beat Rusty Wallace easily off pit road.
One collision on pit road. Jeff Burton got tagged by Casey Mears as they exited the pits. Peter Suspenzo, Nemechek's crew chief, must have Bullwinkle's bunion. That's the one that could predict the weather. He must be sure it's going to rain, leaving his driver out there.
I mean, again, it is a tough dilemma, but Joe Nemechek, that group, Peter Suspenzo, you see him here talking to Joe Nemechek, they need to win a race. They really need to get to victory lane. Again, we talked about it. The tires are not that bad here. And who this really benefits, though, is people like Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, guys like that pitted that last caution. It moves them all the way up.
Let's show you the collision exiting the pits.
RDWA pass.
Teammates, Kurt Busch in the 97, Jeff Burton in the 99. I watched Peter Suspenzo. That's the reason I had a standard order of Maylocks coming every week.
And it's 60 degrees out there and he's sweating.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
He's made the call. Now we'll see.
Fatback, you pitting? I'm pitting. Okay, good. You're staying out.